You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
So here's a story that's been making headlines. Charlie Javice, once celebrated as a young financial prodigy, has now been sentenced to more than 7 years in prison. She was convicted for defrauding JPMorgan Chase, one of the largest banks in the world, into buying her startup, called Frank, for a whopping $175 million. Now, Frank was launched back in 2017. It was supposed to make the complicated world of college financial aid simpler for students and their families. On paper, it looked like a game changer. In fact, Javice got a lot of attention for it. She even landed on Forbes' 30 Under 30 Inches list in 2019. That kind of recognition only added to her reputation as a rising star in finance. But things unraveled quickly after JPMorgan bought Frank in 2021. The bank discovered that most of the customer base Javice had bragged about simply didn't exist. She had claimed that Frank had 4.25 million users, but the real number was closer to 300,000. When JPMorgan tried to reach those supposed customers, the emails bounced back. That's when red flags were raised, and the truth began to surface. JPMorgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, later described the purchase of Frank as a huge mistake. Federal prosecutors charged Javice with 4 serious counts: bank fraud, securities fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. She pleaded not guilty and has been fighting the case, but in March of this year she was convicted on all counts. At her sentencing in Manhattan, Judge Alvin Hellerstein handed down a prison term just over 7 years. Prosecutors had actually pushed for 12 years, but her defense team argued for less, describing her actions as a lapse of judgment rather than an outright scheme to inflict serious harm. Interestingly, Javice has already added a high-profile appellate lawyer, Alexandra Shapiro, to her legal team. Shapiro is known for representing some big names, including hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs and cryptocurrency executive Sam Bankman-Fried, both of whom are also appealing their own convictions. So, it's clear Javice isn't planning to give up without a fight. Adding to the story, Olivier Amar, who was Frank's chief growth officer and Javice's co-defendant, was also convicted on the same charges. His sentencing is set for late October, so this case is far from over. It's a remarkable fall from grace. Someone who was once celebrated as a visionary entrepreneur is now facing years behind bars. And it's also a cautionary tale about hype, ambition, and the consequences of bending the truth in the world of high finance. Stay subscribed for more videos.